Hello, how's it going? My music is too loud. How is it going, everybody? We're back. I've not got my OBS on the side, so I can't tell if everything's fine. Okay, it looks fine. I almost pressed the stream button. That would have been, like, awful. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Behind the Curtain, the series where I go ahead and talk about my week and a running theme throughout. Is the music too loud? Okay. Better safe than sorry. It'll be fine now. Yeah, basically, in this, I talk about how my week's been recently, my last few weeks, and a running theme throughout that week as well. It's basically broken into two little parts, and I'll try and timestamp it as well if I remember, but, like, low-key, like, you know. What? Is it me or is the lighting weird? Huh? I have a mod on that makes me have funny textures. Yeah. Like, you see my hand? Look how cool my hand is. Anyway, I digress. How was my week been? So the last time, I think I did this 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. The main thing that I kind of mentioned going into this week was that I had an audition for a show. And I was a little worried because I was trying something a little different. I have good news. It went well. We take those. I really should just have more confidence. But I don't know. I feel like if I always undersell myself in my own head, then I'll typically do better. That's weird. Which is typically, like, I mean, I guess it's probably not the healthiest thing for, like, general, like, up talk. But, like, it helps me kind of keep my head on straight, you know? Because I don't want to be like, huh? Right. Keeps my head on straight because it means that I'm, like, I'm level-headed. I'm not sat there being like, well, of course I'm going to do better than everybody else. So go, whatever. But yeah, I got the song that I wanted, Brighter from Has Been Hotel. I did a full choreographed thing on stage, and they really liked it, even though it was very out there, very different compared to the usual thing. But yeah, I was very happy about that. I also might have the Paramore song that I wanted to do in it, because, like, they said they're not sure on it, but sure, and then, like, they're kind of umming and ahhing about it, but we'll see. Hopefully I do, because, like, genuinely I love that song. And then I'm also in a few other things as well. I think there's a musical and there's a song in a musical called, like, Cell Block Tango, and it's normally, like, 6 women who are, like, in, like, jail cells doing, like, suggestive dancing, and I think we're doing that with all men, so that'll be fun. That definitely won't see the light of day. If you want to see that, you will have to watch the show. I have a video from last year's when we did Six the musical, but with men. And I was in a dress and a fake bra and a wig. And yeah, only about 4 people on the planet have seen that. And I've not sent it to anyone either. Why? Am I stupid? This is not possible. Am I dumb? I think... Huh? Am I stupid? Anyway, some of the stuff that's happened recently. We've had... Oh, there we go. Well, what's the major stuff that happened recently? I had a couple of events. I mean... I'll be honest, I feel like at least this weekend recently, events haven't been, like, too, like, incredibly fun for me. I don't know, I think just the vibe. I kind of realized in general that, like, slowly as time goes on more and more, events are kind of getting, not, like, draining, but, like, less sort of exciting, just in the sense of the skill level is, like, it just keeps getting higher and higher, and, like, I can compete, but, like, I got things I could do, bro. Like I don't want to have to study for an event, but then I get balanced high, and then it's just like, bruh, you know. And also, event try and make, like, you know, unique games challenge. I always hate about parkour games, but, like, brother, I'm sick of pure movement. Please, please. I can look at me right now. I might as well be playing an event right now. This is like, there's at least 6 event games that are like this, bro. I might as well be playing that right now. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but, like, bro. Anyway, I don't want to talk about event stuff. I want to talk about life stuff. I'm sorry. Other than that, I guess the only sort of, like, major thing recently I've been. I recently played the James Bond game. A lot of fun. I've never watched any James Bond games before. Never watched any James Bond films before. I know he's, you know, it's a bit of a British icon. I cannot be bothered doing these. Why can't I get out of here? Get me out of here. Oh my god, I hate my life. I haven't really watched any James Bond films, but the game had really good reviews, so I played it. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was unique, and I appreciate that. The writing in it was great, and I love a good story game, man. Just like I love a good story film, whatever. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. The only, I guess, major thing that's quite important, it's relevant to this series. You guys know how I like my quotes, especially if you're on like my private. I don't know if anybody watching will be on my private Twitter, but like if you are, you'll know I love my quotes, chat. I love my quotes. Why did I say chat? I'm not streaming. And yeah, so I got a new corkboard recently. So if you've seen the back of my streams, I've like recently got a corkboard, but it's too small for all the photos I wanted in it. So I got a bigger one, and then I moved it all over. But now I'm not got enough photos to fill it. So I'm slowly, you know, trying to do more and more. What the hell is that message? I'm slowly trying to do more and more trips this year. I'm so sad. I need stuff to do in summer. I got nothing to do in summer. I need friends to be like, hey, go on a trip with me. I'm like, please, I'll go on a trip, please. But yeah, and this board, because I got a new one that's bigger, I then started my small one. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grab some of my favorite quotes and I'm gonna stick them on this board. So in the background of my streams, mainly when I've got like my full face cam on, you'll probably be able to see like to the top right corner. If you look at my press 2 streams, you might notice it a little bit. There's another little corkboard which just has a bunch of quotes on it. You won't be able to read them from the stream, and that's kind of a good thing. But I get it in 2 segments. The top segment is like just quotes from my media that I love. So like, you know, the classic Sonic ones that I've literally, you know, titled some of these videos and spoke about in these videos. You know, do I need a reason to want to help out a friend? The classic, the good old ones. And then also on the bottom, I've got more heartfelt. See, I don't feel weird talking about this in such an upbeat tone, but that's what I'm always like on it. I've got some really personal quotes to me. So like, these are things that people have said to me, and I've just kind of always remembered and stuck with and thought, you know what, that really meant a lot, that hit. And I was thinking about it, right? Because, you know, sometimes the reason why I made that is to, you know, remind myself, just like keep going, you know, motivational. Sometimes it's a bit different to physically see it, like it manifests kind of better than just kind of thinking it. So like I look at the wall and I see these quotes, I see these things that I, you know, try and live by, but I also see these things that, you know, were messages that were said specifically about me or to me that really meant a lot. And it got me thinking, I wonder like if anybody who's seen the wall knows that like something they said's on there. You know what I mean? Like, if I wonder if those people sort of recognize how much what they said meant to me, and if they remember that they've even said it. And of course, it doesn't really matter that much, but it's curious, right? Maybe I'm just weird and I just remember these things. But I always had like a notes section on my notes app where I would basically write about any like quotes that really meant a lot to me. And yeah, now I've got that little wall, and it's really nice to just have that, you know, physical thing in front of me to be like, yeah, stop being stupid. Like you matter, you know, people care about you, all this sort of stuff. It's sad, but like, it's also happy at the same time, you know. So I very much recommend if you guys, you know, keep track of things like that. If you first of all, if you don't keep track of kind things that people say about you like that, you really should, because I mean, I try my best, and I'll get onto this in a second, but I try more and more, you know, to try and be nice and kind and say nice things about people, because people really deserve it. There's too much negativity in the world, and but yeah, try your best to sort of say those things, and also remember those things, because there's not always the people going to say it, because, you know, maybe it loses value if people always said it, maybe. But doesn't mean people don't mean it, you know. People find it really hard to be appreciative, and I mean, I say people, I'm included in that as well. I'm trying though. So if you don't already, I'd really recommend trying to note those things down. Or, I mean, I'll say I often look back at old conversations with people and the kind stuff that they've said, and essentially this is sort of the new version of that, but physically with the what's going on, man? Physically with the quotes. So yeah, it's really nice, and I really recommend it. Getting a little wall of, you know, your motivational quotes. Just find some cool quotes, man. Like, I know it's kind of cringe. Like, I know it is, but like, it's motivational, man. Like, it can mean stuff. If you find it something you really connect with, it really does mean stuff. Next thing. Over the last few weeks, you probably wonder, I probably sound a lot more upbeat. I'm normally upbeat in these, but I feel like I'm sounding a lot more upbeat today. Not that I'm necessarily doing like that much better than last time. I just feel like I have more energy. I just kind of want to do this more today. And I was like, you know, I really want to get around to this. But general like kindness stuff I've noticed like in the last few weeks, and it's probably like a self-defense mechanism, but I've kind of noticed that in the last few weeks I don't want to sound like I don't know, not self-entitled, but like a guy who thinks way too much of himself. But I feel like I've been a lot more kind in the last few weeks, and I feel like I've been doing it as like a self-defense thing, if you get what I mean. Like, I've sort of like doubled down because, you know, said about this, that, whatever. I feel like I've sort of doubled down on being more kind recently. And it's weird because logically I probably shouldn't do that, right? Because part of my issue is that I kind of spread myself too thin and I kind of stress too much on putting other things in front of me. But for some reason, the last few weeks I've just been doing it more. Like, I've consciously noticed myself doing it more. And I mean, it feels good, so maybe that's why I keep doing it. But I'm kind of like, maybe this is a self-defense mechanism. Like, maybe this is maybe if I'm even more kind, they'll like me more. You know, I'll be more appreciated or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a positive effect, right? Because, you know, being more kind is nice. It's a good thing. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I can't really think of anything too major that's happened recently this week. I will say, normally once I finish filming these videos, like literally 10 minutes after, I'll be like, oh man, why didn't I mention that? But yeah, the theme this week. So I was thinking, I can't lie, the theme's not that linked to the week. But I was thinking sort of about the status quo, you know, like how my life is. And I was kind of thinking about maybe that's kind of why I've been struggling a lot, because my life is very, like, samey, right? I feel like I live very differently and generic to a lot of other people. And I'm just thinking, you know, maybe that's kind of my problem. And I was kind of thinking to myself today, I think I need a switch up. Like, I really hate change, right? You guys know this, but I feel like I really need something that's kind of like to like rejuvenate things in my life. And sometimes I'll have conversations that'll help it and things like that. But like, I feel like with my life, I need something sort of drastic, like a real big change to like the status quo, right? Because there's a lot of things that, you know, I strive to try and improve myself as much as possible, you know, slowly, you know, baby steps, like day in, day out, whatever. I do a lot of like introspection on, you know, like more psychological things, like you see here. You know, I guess the term is very introspective, or like I'll think about, you know, my thoughts and my feelings and things like that. But I realize that the thing that kind of holds me back is, you know, the more physical things, like, you know, dieting and, you know, like exercise and all this sort of stuff. And I realize that my issue is with those, that I'm kind of locked in the way my life is, because, you know, with, you know, connections, like, because I live at home and things like that, it's hard to kind of change anything. Like, I love watching cooking shows, for example, and I would like to try and, you know, branch into that a little bit. Obviously, I'm still a picky eater, so it's not really going to fix anything, but like, I think it would help me to try it all. But I'm not that kind of person where I can just do it on my own, especially with the way that my living situation is. Like I'll be real, my kitchen just doesn't allow for it. Like, it just doesn't. And just like, you know, my family's time schedules and like my time schedule and things like that, it's hard to sort of fit around that. So I'm kind of locked in the way that is. Same with like exercising and things like that, right? Like, I'm not like obese, I think, but I'm not like exactly skinny either. And it's not like I hate exercise or anything like that. Like, I have strong legs, I'm pretty sure. Like, I've pretty like, is it toned legs? It's saying I have thick thighs, bad chat. It's not a good or bad thing to say. But like, I'm not like averse to exercise. It's just that like having a reason or motivation to do it. And I'm just not the type who I'll motivate by myself. Like, I love to try cooking and things like that, but I wouldn't want to do it on my own. So I thought, you know, I really need some sort of status quo sort of change. And I feel like I've tried a lot to... Hang on, have I done this? Did I do this housing last video? No shot I've picked the exact same housing. There's no way I've picked the exact same housing. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to continue before this goes really long. But yeah, and I realize, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I would want to, you know, branch out and try, but it's just kind of hard for me to do so. I know people will be like, oh, well, obviously you don't want to try it that much. But it's like, to me, the be-all end-all is I will always be more motivated or more able to do something when I'm doing it for or with someone than if I'm doing it on my own. Blah, 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 low self-worth, I don't know. But that's just kind of how I work. Like, I would love to try all these things, and that's why, you know, I enjoy, and I'm fairly different per se on like trips in person, because I feel like, you know, other people's like presence can motivate me to sort of do more. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I still, you know, like to stay in my comfort zone from here or there, but like, we're going on another trip soon, and I'm gonna end up going clubbing again, which, you know, there's a part of me that hates it, but then there's the other part of me that's like, well, you know, I gotta give it a try, right? I can't let everybody down. I will hate it. Let's be real, chat. Let's be real. But I said chat again. I'm so sorry. It's because I streamed like The last 2 days. That's why I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah. In regards to, like I say, in general, how things have been, it's been, like, okay. It's not been, like, major improvements. I still really do see myself just... I've definitely done this before. I really do just see myself sort of looping in the same ways at the moment. And I realized... you know, I've kind of always said that thing of, like, the best things can't be imagined. It's a testament I do still live by, because it's true, right? And I feel like when I mentioned it to people, they were like, wait, you're kind of cooking with that. I realized I'm kind of sick of my imagination. Because, like, you know, I'll always build my hopes up. And that's why I try and temper my expectations with, like, my own performance and things, you know, like with the show auditions or whatever. But I always, you know, I'm hopeful, and it's irritating. But I'll build my hopes up, and I'll imagine really good things, or things happen in a really good way. And I'll be real, as good as that is, I kind of wish I didn't have that. Because I realize, you know, the best things can't be imagined. So I keep imagining things, and it's almost like I end up imagining things that will never happen, right? Like, you can't imagine the best things, so I've never imagined how something actually ends up going when it goes well. So whenever I sit there and think, oh, how amazing would this thing be? I'm, like, cancelling it out. And I know that's, like, that's me thinking, like, what's the word? Not paranormal. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a fantasy, right? I'm being absolutely stupid thinking that way. Because obviously that's not how it works, but it's kind of how it has gone for me. I don't know. So I've been sat there like, it'd be kind of nice if I couldn't imagine. But at the end of the day, I guess I just need to accept more and more that, you know, if I didn't have things like that, if I wasn't, you know, like a chronic overthinker, then I wouldn't, you know, have the good traits that I have. And that's what I'm kind of trying to do to keep me level-headed at the moment. I'm also just, like I say, looking at the quotes, you know, reminding myself that even in days where, you know, I might not speak to somebody, even if I really want to or whatever, that, you know, they did say those really nice things about me and they mean them. And the thing that I'm also trying to remind myself of is no matter what happens, those things, you can never take those away from me, right? Like, those things were said and people meant all those kind words, and that can't ever be taken away from me. Like, yeah, those people could turn around to hate me in the future, but, like, in that moment, they saw those, like, good things in me, and they really appreciated that, and they voiced that, and I gotta remind myself of that no matter what happens. And today, I guess in general, this video is talking about being more hopeful. I don't know if I have been a ton more recently, but yeah, I'm trying to get through things. Like I say, trying to motivate myself with, like, quotes and things like that, remembering the positives, and also thinking to myself, maybe I do need a little bit of a switch up, you know, maybe I do need some positive change in my life. I don't know what that'll be, because I think maybe part of my issue with, like, my job is that it's just mundane, right? Because there's a lot of downtime, and I don't particularly enjoy it, but I mean, does anybody enjoy their job, you know? But maybe there's, you know, ways that I can try and fix that, you know, is there ways that I can try and change my mentality and try and enjoy that more, or I don't know. I think I just need some sort of kind of big change to be like, to use as motivation. Like, any time that I'm down or struggling, whatever, I'm thinking, why am I even bothering with this thing? I could be like, oh, it's for this at the end of the day. And I've always mentioned about having, like, short-term goals for the future. And that's very much how I've gotten through a lot of things. And I have been lacking those. Maybe I just need to somehow magically get summer trips. Maybe I've looped back to there. Please, if you're watching this or we're friends, like, please, and you're free, I want to do stuff in the summer. Or maybe if it's not in the summer, I'll do it next week. Actually, I'm doing something next week, so maybe not next week. But, like, yeah. I've rambled too much. This was really non-structured compared to last week, so I apologize. But hopefully you guys understand the rambling in my thoughts. At the end of the day, that is what these videos are for, right? They're not meant to be super well structured. That's why I don't script them, because, you know, I like being genuine. I've always sort of said that. I always like to keep to my values, which is something somebody said to me once, and I appreciate that. And it's on the wall. Like I say, I really do wonder if people remember those things that they said, and if they're like, how that, like, I wonder if anybody's known or realized that, you know, they said something that's meant a lot to me and they've seen that and how that's made them feel. You know? I don't know. I'm deep in it too much. I'm going to stop the ramble. I'm going to go back to playing Wuthering Waves Cyberpunk Expansion. Hope you guys have had a great week as well, or are having a great week, or are going to have a great week. Let me know how it's been for you guys recently. Do you have similar thoughts to me in the, like, 5 million rambles I've had? Bro, I really am yapping today. Maybe they were telling the truth when they said I'm a yapper. Anyway. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys probably in a couple weeks for the next event. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I want to say, for the next event. I should get in. I've signed up with a duo. I should get in another event in like 3 weeks. We'll see. But thank you guys for watching, like always. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye! Also, I'm going to add more music to my playlist for the next one because I realize it's all the same Sonic Unleashed soundtrack. So, yeah. But anyway, goodbye.